They told you to control your anger. But no one taught you how. One moment of emotion can destroy years of progress. The Stoics understood this thousands of years ago. And today, you are about to learn the 10 Stoic secrets that can make you emotionally untouchable forever. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more deep Stoic wisdom that strengthens your mind and transforms your life. Most people are controlled by emotions they do not understand. They wake up stressed, react to disrespect instantly, overthink every small problem, allow fear to control decisions, allow anger to ruin relationships, allow anxiety to destroy peace. Then they wonder why life feels heavy. The Stoics believed emotional mastery is the highest form of power. Not money, not status, not physical strength. Real power is remaining calm when everyone else loses control. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That single idea can change your entire life. Because your emotions are either your servant or your master. And today, you will learn how to make them your servant. Secret number 1. Separate events from interpretation. This is where emotional freedom begins. Most people think events hurt them. But the Stoics believed it is not the event itself that destroys peace. It is the meaning you attach to it. Someone ignores your message. One person immediately thinks, "They hate me." Another person thinks, "They are busy." Same event. Different emotional outcome. The event did not create suffering. The interpretation did. Epictetus said people are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. This is one of the greatest psychological truths ever spoken. You suffer more from imagination than reality. Think about how many times you became angry before knowing the full truth. How many nights you lost sleep over assumptions. How many friendships were damaged because of emotional reactions to stories created in your mind. The Stoics trained themselves to pause before assigning meaning. Instead of reacting emotionally, ask yourself, what are the actual facts? Not assumptions. Not fear. Not insecurity. Facts. This one habit alone can save your peace. Because emotional mastery starts when you stop believing every thought that enters your mind. Secret number 2. Control your response, not the situation. Most suffering comes from trying to control things outside your power. People want to control opinions, outcomes, relationships, traffic, politics, the behavior of others. But life does not obey your emotions. The Stoics divided life into 2 categories. Things you control. Things you do not control. You control your thoughts, your actions, your discipline, your attitude. You do not control how others behave. The moment you stop demanding control over uncontrollable things, your mind becomes lighter. A storm does not ask for permission before arriving. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. Life will change suddenly. But your peace depends on your response. A weak mind reacts emotionally to everything. A strong mind chooses its response carefully. This is why Stoics appeared calm during chaos. They understood that emotional reactions do not solve problems. Calm thinking does. When life becomes difficult, ask yourself, what part of this situation is actually under my control? Focus there. Ignore the rest. That is emotional intelligence. That is Stoic strength. Secret number 3. Train yourself to pause before reacting. 1 second can change your life. One emotional reaction can destroy years of respect. Most people react instantly because they are ruled by impulse. Anger speaks before wisdom arrives. Fear decides before logic appears. The Stoics practiced delayed reaction. They understood that emotions rise quickly but often disappear if you give them time. When insulted, they paused. When angry, they waited. When emotional, they stayed silent until clarity returned. Silence is power. Not every situation deserves your immediate reaction. In fact, many conflicts exist because people reacted too fast. A calm mind sees solutions. An emotional mind sees enemies. The next time someone disrespects you, do not rush to defend yourself emotionally. Observe first. Breathe. Think. Ask yourself, will this matter in a week? Will my reaction improve this situation? Am I acting from wisdom or emotion? That pause is where power lives. Anyone can react. Few people can remain composed. And that composure separates leaders from victims. Secret number 4. Accept discomfort willingly. Most emotional weakness comes from avoiding discomfort. People avoid rejection. Avoid criticism. Avoid failure. Avoid loneliness. Avoid difficult conversations. Then they become emotionally fragile. The Stoics intentionally trained themselves to face discomfort. Because they understood something powerful. If small discomfort controls you, life controls you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that hardship is part of existence. Not punishment. Not bad luck. Part of life. Modern people panic when life becomes uncomfortable because they expect comfort all the time. But growth does not happen inside comfort. Emotional strength is built through exposure. The more you survive difficult moments calmly, the stronger your mind becomes. Face uncomfortable situations voluntarily. Speak honestly even when nervous. Wake up early even when tired. Stay disciplined even when unmotivated. Remain calm even when insulted. Every small victory strengthens your emotional control. The Stoics believe the obstacle becomes the way. Meaning the challenge itself develops you. The discomfort you avoid today becomes the weakness that controls you tomorrow. Face it now. Grow stronger. Secret number 5. Stop taking everything personally. This secret alone can free your mind forever. Most emotional suffering comes from personalization. Someone criticizes you. You feel attacked. Someone disagrees with you. You feel offended. Someone behaves badly. You think it is about you. But often, people act from their own pain, insecurity, stress, or ignorance. Their behavior reflects their inner world more than your worth. The Stoics understood this deeply. A person filled with anger spreads anger. A person filled with peace spreads peace. Do not absorb every emotional projection around you. Not every opinion deserves emotional access to your mind. If someone insults you unfairly, ask yourself, does this person truly know me? Is this criticism useful? Why should another person's emotions control my peace? You cannot build inner stability if every outside opinion shakes you. Strong minds listen carefully but do not emotionally collapse from criticism. Weak minds depend on constant approval. Freedom begins when your self-worth no longer depends on public opinion. You become emotionally dangerous when insults stop controlling your actions. Secret number 6. Practice negative visualization. This Stoic practice sounds strange at first, but it is one of the most powerful emotional tools ever created. The Stoics imagined loss before it happened. Not to become negative, but to become grateful and emotionally prepared. They reminded themselves that life is temporary. People can leave. Money can disappear. Health can change. Opportunities can vanish. Why? Because attachment without awareness creates emotional shock. Most people only appreciate things after losing them. The Stoics appreciated things before losing them. This created gratitude and emotional resilience. Imagine losing the things you currently take for granted. Your home. Your phone. Your health. Your loved ones. Suddenly, your complaints begin to shrink. You stop acting entitled. You become more present. And if loss eventually happens, you are mentally stronger because you already accepted the possibility. This does not make you cold. It makes you emotionally prepared. People suffer deeply because they expect permanence in an impermanent world. The Stoics trained themselves to love deeply without depending emotionally on permanence. That is wisdom. Secret number 7. Detach from external validation. Most people are emotional slaves because they need approval. They need praise to feel valuable. They need attention to feel important. They need recognition to feel confident. And because of this, other people control their emotions. The Stoics warned against building identity around public opinion. Because public opinion changes constantly. People praise you today. Ignore you tomorrow. Criticize you next week. If your emotional state depends on applause, your peace will never be stable. Real confidence is internal. It comes from living according to your values. Not from likes. Not from compliments. Not from validation. A Stoic asks, did I act with integrity? Did I remain disciplined? Did I stay true to my principles? That matters more than attention. Social media made emotional dependence worse. Many people now measure self-worth through reactions. Views. Followers. Comments. But numbers cannot replace inner peace. Do not become addicted to external approval. The strongest people in history were often misunderstood. Your mission is not to impress everyone. Your mission is to master yourself. Secret number 8. Use reason to challenge emotion. Emotions are powerful. But they are not always accurate. Fear exaggerates danger. Anger exaggerates disrespect. Anxiety exaggerates uncertainty. The Stoics believed reason must lead emotion. Not suppress emotion completely, but guide it wisely. When emotions rise, challenge them logically. Ask yourself, what evidence supports this fear? What is the worst realistic outcome? Am I reacting emotionally or rationally? Many emotional storms disappear when examined calmly. Think about how many fears never actually happened. How many worries solved nothing. How many emotional reactions created unnecessary damage. The Stoics trained their minds like warriors train their bodies. Daily reflection. Self-awareness. Mental discipline. They understood that an untrained mind becomes dangerous to itself. Do not believe every emotion automatically deserves action. Feel it. Observe it. Question it. Then respond with wisdom. That is emotional mastery. Secret number 9. Protect your inner peace like treasure. Peace is expensive, and many people give it away cheaply. One rude comment ruins their day. One disagreement destroys their mood. One setback creates emotional chaos. The Stoics valued inner peace above temporary pleasure. Because peace creates clarity. And clarity creates better decisions. Protect your mind carefully. Not every argument deserves participation. Not every battle deserves your energy. Learn to walk away from emotional traps. Some people enjoy chaos. Some conversations only drain your spirit. Some environments constantly damage your mental state. Choose carefully what enters your mind. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that the soul becomes colored by its thoughts. Your environment shapes your emotions. Your habits shape your mind. Your daily focus shapes your future. Guard your attention. Guard your energy. Guard your peace. A calm mind is a weapon in a noisy world. Secret number 10. Remember death daily. This is one of the deepest Stoic teachings. And one of the most misunderstood. The Stoics practiced remembering death not to become depressed, but to become awake. Life becomes clearer when you remember it is temporary. Petty arguments lose importance. Ego loses importance. Overthinking loses importance. You stop wasting emotional energy on meaningless things. Every day becomes valuable. Every moment becomes precious. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that he could leave life at any moment. This awareness helped him live intentionally. Most people live as if they have unlimited time. So they delay growth. Delay healing. Delay discipline. Delay purpose. But one day, time runs out. And regret becomes heavier than fear. When you remember mortality, emotional clarity increases. You stop reacting to small nonsense. You become more grateful. More courageous. More focused. Death awareness teaches you how to live. And once you truly understand this, your emotional priorities change forever. Now think about these 10 Stoic secrets carefully. Separate events from interpretation. Control your response. Pause before reacting. Accept discomfort. Stop taking things personally. Practice negative visualization. Detach from validation. Use reason over emotion. Protect your peace. Remember death daily. These are not motivational ideas. They are mental weapons. The modern world trains people to become emotionally reactive. The Stoics trained themselves to become emotionally disciplined. That is why their wisdom still survives thousands of years later. Because emotional control never goes out of style. Your anger can destroy your future. Your fear can destroy your opportunities. Your emotional impulses can destroy your relationships. But emotional mastery can transform your life. Imagine becoming the type of person who remains calm under pressure. Who cannot be manipulated emotionally. Who thinks clearly during chaos. Who stays disciplined during difficulty. Who controls emotions instead of being controlled by them. That is real strength. Not loudness. Not aggression. Not dominance. Control. Internal control. The Stoics believed the greatest victory is victory over yourself. And they were right. Every day gives you another chance to practice. Another chance to observe your reactions. Another chance to strengthen your mind. no one becomes emotionally powerful overnight. It is built daily, moment by moment, decision by decision, reaction by reaction. Your emotions are not your enemy. Lack of discipline is the enemy. Train your mind. Protect your peace. Master yourself. And once you do, very little in this world will have the power to break you again. If this video helped you, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone who needs emotional strength right now. Your journey towards Stoic mastery starts today. Most people spend their entire lives trying to control the outside world. Very few learn to control themselves. That is why so many people stay trapped in emotional cycles they cannot escape. One day they feel motivated. The next day they feel empty. One moment they feel confident. The next moment they feel insecure. Their emotions decide their direction. The Stoics warned against living this way. Because a person ruled by emotions becomes predictable, weak, and easy to manipulate. Anyone can control you if they control your emotional reactions. Think about that carefully. If someone can make you angry whenever they want, they control you. If someone can destroy your peace with a few words, they control you. If social media can change your mood instantly, it controls you. The Stoics refused to give that power away. They trained themselves to remain centered no matter what happened around them. This does not mean becoming emotionless. It means becoming emotionally disciplined. There is a difference. An emotionless person feels nothing. A Stoic feels emotions deeply but refuses to become a slave to them. That is true maturity. The world often rewards emotional reactions. People praise outrage, reward drama, celebrate impulsive behavior. But emotional reactions usually create long-term damage. Many people lose opportunities because of temporary emotions. A single angry message, a reckless decision, an impulsive reaction. Years later, they regret moments they could not control. The Stoics understood that every emotion creates a choice. You can feed it, or you can observe it calmly until it loses power. This is why self-awareness matters so much. Most people never observe themselves. They simply react automatically. Someone criticizes them. Instant anger. Something goes wrong. Instant panic. Someone succeeds. Instant jealousy. Their mind operates like a machine controlled by external triggers. But awareness breaks the cycle. The moment you become aware of your emotional patterns, you begin taking your power back. Start watching yourself closely. Notice what triggers anger. Notice what creates insecurity. Notice what destroys your peace. Because hidden emotional patterns control your life silently. And what you do not understand will continue controlling you. The Stoics practiced self-reflection every day. At night, they reviewed their behavior honestly. Where did I lose control today? Where did emotion overpower reason? How can I improve tomorrow? This daily reflection strengthened emotional intelligence. Modern people avoid self-reflection because honesty feels uncomfortable. But growth requires honesty. You cannot improve a mind you refuse to examine. One of the greatest Stoic practices is learning to become an observer of your own emotions. Imagine standing outside yourself during moments of anger. Instead of saying, "I am angry," you begin saying, "I notice anger appearing." That small shift changes everything. Because now you are no longer completely identified with the emotion. You become the observer instead of the prisoner. This creates emotional distance. And emotional distance creates control. A person who cannot observe emotions becomes consumed by them. This is why meditation became important for many Stoics. Silence reveals the mind. When you sit quietly, you begin noticing how chaotic your thoughts actually are. Most people are mentally restless all day. Constant stimulation. Constant distraction. Constant emotional noise. They never sit alone with themselves long enough to understand their own mind. But silence reveals truth. And truth creates freedom. The Stoics also believe discipline strengthens emotional control. A weak lifestyle creates a weak mind. Sleeping without structure. Eating without control. Living without purpose. All of these increase emotional instability. Discipline creates internal order. And internal order creates emotional stability. This is why physically disciplined people often become mentally stronger too. Every act of discipline teaches the mind. I control myself. That identity becomes powerful. Even small habits matter. Making your bed. Exercising regularly. Keeping promises to yourself. These actions strengthen self-respect. And self-respect improves emotional stability. People who constantly disappoint themselves lose trust in their own mind. Then emotions begin controlling them more easily. But every disciplined action rebuilds inner confidence. The Stoics also avoided emotional dependency. They understood that depending too heavily on people creates suffering. This does not mean avoiding love. It means avoiding emotional addiction. Many people become emotionally destroyed because they built their entire identity around another person. When that person leaves, they collapse. The Stoics loved deeply while maintaining inner independence. They appreciated relationships without attaching their entire emotional survival to them. That balance is powerful. Because attachment without self-control creates fear. Fear of loss. Fear of abandonment. Fear of rejection. And fear creates emotional instability. A strong mind enjoys connection but does not lose itself inside it. This is why emotional independence matters. Your happiness cannot depend entirely on external people or circumstances. Because external things always change. Inner stability must come from within. Another Stoic principle is learning to accept human nature. People will disappoint you sometimes. They will lie. Judge you. Misunderstand you. Betray you. Not because life is unfair. But because humans are imperfect. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of this before starting his day. He expected difficult people. And because he expected it, he remained emotionally prepared. Many people become emotionally destroyed because they expect perfection from imperfect humans. Then reality shocks them repeatedly. Acceptance reduces emotional suffering. Not blind acceptance of abuse. But acceptance of reality. You stop being surprised by human flaws. And this protects your peace. One of the greatest emotional traps today is comparison. Social media made comparison constant. People compare money, looks, relationships, success, lifestyle. And comparison creates emotional poison. Jealousy, insecurity, self-hate. The Stoics believed comparison destroys inner peace because it shifts focus away from your own growth. There will always be someone richer, smarter, more attractive, more successful. Chasing comparison never ends. Instead, compete with your previous self. Become slightly wiser, slightly calmer, slightly more disciplined each day. That is enough. The Stoics focused on character more than appearance. Because appearance fades, status changes, wealth disappears, but character shapes your entire life. A person with strong character remains steady during chaos. That steadiness becomes rare in modern society. People today are emotionally exhausted because their minds never rest. Constant notifications, constant opinions, constant stimulation. The Stoics valued solitude because solitude strengthens clarity. Spend time alone without distractions. No phone. No music. No entertainment. Just silence. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Because most people are addicted to distraction. But eventually, silence strengthens the mind. You begin hearing your real thoughts. You begin understanding yourself more deeply. And emotional awareness grows stronger. The Stoics also believed gratitude weakens emotional negativity. An ungrateful mind always suffers. It focuses only on what is missing. Never on what already exists. There are people praying for the life you currently complain about. That perspective changes everything. Gratitude shifts attention from lack to abundance. And attention shapes emotional experience. Every morning, remind yourself what still remains good in your life. Your mind. Your breath. Your opportunities. Your ability to grow. Gratitude creates emotional resilience. Because grateful people recover faster from difficulty. They see value even during struggle. Another powerful Stoic lesson is understanding that emotions are temporary. No feeling lasts forever. Not sadness. Not anger. Not fear. Everything passes. Many people make permanent decisions during temporary emotions. That destroys lives. When emotional storms appear, remind yourself. This feeling will pass. Do not rush decisions while emotional. Wait until the mind becomes clear again. Temporary emotions should never control permanent choices. The Stoics trusted time. They knew emotional intensity fades when fed less attention. This is why patience matters. Patience is emotional strength. Impulsive people destroy their own future. Patient people build stable lives. And finally, understand this deeply. Mastering emotions is not about becoming perfect. Even Stoics struggled emotionally sometimes. Marcus Aurelius himself battled stress, pressure, and frustration. But the difference is they practiced constantly. Every day was training. Every challenge became practice. Every insult became practice. Every setback became practice. Life itself became the training ground. That is the Stoic mindset. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" That question transforms suffering into growth. And growth creates strength. One day, people will notice something different about you. You no longer react emotionally to everything. You no longer panic easily. You no longer chase approval desperately. You become calmer, sharper, more disciplined, more difficult to shake emotionally. And that inner strength changes every area of life. Because emotional mastery affects relationships, business, leadership, discipline, decision-making, Everything improves when the mind becomes stable. The Stoics knew this. That is why they focused on mastering themselves before trying to master the world. And you can do the same. One thought at a time. One reaction at a time. One disciplined choice at a time. If you are still listening, subscribe to the channel right now and join a community focused on discipline, wisdom, and mental strength. Your strongest self is built through